Hello everybody, this is Jeffrey GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode, as you guys may have seen my last short I made on the channel, we're going to be doing a 1 hour endurance race special. First, it's going to be using the Mazda 7878B at Spa, which was a request build. I'll show you guys a quick nutshell guide for that race and with this car, just to see what this car can do at that particular event, making it very easy and effortless. After that, I thought it'd be a good time for an update build at Maggiore with a 1 hour endurance challenge. That challenge is still kind of challenging as of today, but I don't think it's not nearly as badly challenged as it was back in the day when it actually made its debut. But hopefully by the end of this episode, I can be able to show you these two builds and guides, and that they'll help you out in your grinds or whenever you want to try to get the gold medal at Lake Maggiore. But I'll quickly go ahead and thank you guys for the support as of late. I was able to do a quick live stream Saturday with a custom lobby race. Unfortunately, as of lately, we had a glitch in our race causing us not to be matching with the other drivers, which caused me to retire in that race, which is quite unfortunate because I think we were doing pretty well in that race. Could we win the race? I'm not too sure, but I think we probably would have gotten P2. But other than that, I thank you guys for the encouragement and for your texts, your comments in the last episode. So hopefully this go around, I will produce more content in the future, and am more thinking of leaning toward making more shorts as well, just add a little add some spice and flavor to the channel. So thank you guys again for the support for the channel, as I'm actually trying to get back into the grind a bit earlier than I initially had planned. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this new renowned rejuvenant build, or phase you could say. So without any further ado, let's now go ahead and get straight into the episode. So if you guys want to know where to get the 7878B, you can find it at the Legends Car dealership. But as you guys can see in the menu, it is not in the game, which is quite unfortunate. Now, I did look the whole entire list, which I'm about to show you right at the end of this clip, and unfortunately, it's just not in the game. If it is in the game, it will also spawn in the R92CP and the Sauber C9. So usually when that car shows up, those two other prototypes shows up as well. But hopefully in the near future, it will actually show up in the game. So let's take a quick look at the build itself. It's pretty similar to what I have in my last Cirque Digna build, but I went ahead and changed the tires to racing hard tires for this car, and added some front downforce to the car since the hard tires lowered the overall PP points. Here's a look on the other part of the list. I really didn't change anything in this particular section either. Should be the same as it was in Cirque Digna, and that's going to be it for the build. So if you're new to the game and if you unlock Spa, this Spa race is going to be a long 1 hour race. Matter of fact, we've actually really have gotten the lead and basically have left everybody else in the dust. This car is very quick. As you can see, it does handle decently good even with the racing hard tires. I would say the most difficult thing is making sure it stays on track. As you can see, we just gained a penalty. And I think another very hard thing to do is making sure you actually do brake at the right time. As you can see, we just braked pretty late there, not being able to get the grip to slow down the car. So I think that's probably going to be the two main factors to really worry about in this race. Now, in this race, the sky will transform to day to night. And while it does that, it also is going to throw in a couple of rain showers. So it's very important whenever you do this race that you actually do have, in this case, either a set of intermediate tires or a set of wets. Preferably wets is probably the better choice out of the two. As you can see, we go to the pit road. We got ourselves a lot of dark blue specks on the map. We're going to follow in behind this Audi R8. We actually do get blocked in a little bit by the Audi R8. We actually almost putting it a lap down as we go to the pit road. So what we're going to do here is just go ahead and we're going to swing on by and switch to wets, playing it safe, and get ready for the next thing. As you can see, there's a lot of heavy rain coming down, and you can see there's actually a good bit of steam right behind the rear wheels, as you see right there. So usually when you see that, that's giving the indication that it is a good time to switch to either inters or wets. But you're going to do this on and off during the night period in this race. You just have to keep your eye on the radar. When it does begin to dry up, you then can move back to slicks. Gotta be a little bit careful. You don't want to drive in on slicks on a wet track, especially if you're a centimeter off the paved drier race line and you just cross over that little margin of that wet spot on the track. So as we get into pit road, we're going to adjust our gearing, get ourselves a little bit extra traction, and get ready for phase 2 in this race. Lap 14, as you can see, the rain actually has left us. The track is beginning to dry up. We're going to go ahead and switch over to a set of slicks. And usually if you can tell that you're getting some damage, some little red showing on the wet tires, that's also another great given reference point you can use that will let you know that it is officially time to switch to dries. Even though, as you can see, we still see a good bit of steam. Don't let that fool you. That's just because the pit road itself is not as dry as it is in the current racing line. You just have to go by the racing line and what the track is actually doing compared to what the pit road is doing. So just like we did before, we're going to get ourselves a refuel real quick and get ourselves new slicks, and that's going to be it for our second pit stop. And this could be a variant between 3 to 4 pit stops, as we're going to fast forward later for our next pit stop, which is going to be around lap 20, I believe. You can see that it actually has turned back to daytime, but you can see we got ourselves another rainstorm heading our way. Playing it safe as always, and just going back to pit road to get ourselves another set of wets, and that's going to be it for pit stop number 3. And then finally running up the very last pit stop, which is going to occur just a couple of laps later. I believe it was like lap 23 or 24, and we're going to go to dries this last pit stop, and that's going to be it for our last pit stop, thankfully, in this race. But like I said, you guys just gotta play about just be on the cautious side and just making sure you got the right tires at the right time. And usually if you do, you can just really be able to get yourself above the AI if you can just play it perfectly, just getting the right tire compound at the right time. So as we get down to our last pit stop, we're going to go ahead and fast forward to the end of the race. As you can see, it's officially dry. It's actually the same conditions as it was when we started the race, and the car is very quick. You'll see on the leaderboard, able to lap almost the whole entire field 4 times, able to get that easy 1.5 million, and that's going to be it for race number 1. Now race 2 is going to be the 1 hour race in Maggiore. Now there are a couple of great cars you can use for this particular race. In this particular race, I'm actually using the 2020 GT3 Mercedes-Benz, and I was quite curious to see what this car could do. I've done all kinds of cars in the past. I've done the Subaru in the past, the BMW M6, the Lexus LF, not the Lexus RCF, a really good car, the Porsche 911, and I just thought it would be a good time to showcase a new build with a new car, which I never used. And trust me, this car, it handled very smoothly. It actually surprised me how much grip it is on the rear of the car. Felt very smooth. I would say it's probably that's a teensy bit slower than the Lexus and the BMW, but that handling is really good. You can see we're making up a lot of good spots, and we're actually in the top 5 as we're about to be halfway to the first lap. So this is a really good strong run for us in this car. We're going to grab P4 away from the Lamborghini, and then we're going to force the issue and get ourselves 3rd place as we make that right hand turn. We do go a bit deep, but thankfully we actually do keep the momentum going and get ourselves 3rd place as we now chase down the Porsche driver. So really good car. And at the end of this race, I'll show you guys the top 10 stars, what they used, just in case you want to use a different car than what I'm using on track. But as we get to the first couple corners, we're going to go ahead and just get a couple tenths off the Porsche, because the Porsche is in a different strategy than what we are. We are using the racing mediums. I believe the Porsche in front of us is using the hards for its pit stop. As you can see, the Supra is actually getting a big gap between itself and the Porsche. First lap, very good progress from where we were up to 3rd. And you can see we're going to go ahead and get that gap close down even more through these turns, especially. I mean, we're right there, right behind the Porsche. So this car really feeling good at the moment. We're going to get ourselves a nice run on the Porsche. Unfortunately, the Porsche is going to shut the door on us. It's going to slow us down a little bit. We're going to give it a little bit of a love tap right there, letting it know that we're right there. Get ourselves a good run on its right side, and we're going to force the issue, and we're going to clear the Porsche and get ourselves P2 and gain a purple sector to boot. So really good run from this Mercedes-Benz GT3. As we get to the second part of this certain corner, which is my favorite corner, you can really be able to go almost flat out in this section, and if you are able to really go almost full out in that section, you can really gain a lot of time on the AI if you do that. And you can see we have actually caught up with the Supra. We got the slipstream from the Supra as well. As we go down the hill, we're going to wait just a little bit right there. We could have forced the issue, but at the same time, we're going to play a little bit safe here. Don't want to get ourselves in a jeopardy state. As we get a little bit of a slipstream right behind the Supra, we're going to get ourselves quite a good run in this corner. And while we're at it, we're going to actually make a move right there. We're going to be side by side. We're going to break a little bit later. We actually overshot the corner, but thankfully we actually did cleared it, and we were able to make the move work and get ourselves that lead right about at the end of lap 2. So very smooth, quick car around this track, and just being able to drive it pretty aggressively and still being able to be smooth, and a really smooth car to drive. So let's go ahead now and fast forward to a very crucial part. We're just going to be our first pit stop. Now these pit stops are going to be different for medium drivers like myself. We'll have to pit twice, but if you are a hard tired driver, you only have to pit once. So in the strategy here, we're going to pit on lap 11. All I'll be doing here is of course get ourselves some fuel and some tires. Now the crucial part is we're going to get ourselves a new set of medium tires, but the fueling is going to be very crucial because the AI tend to pit and just take pretty much full fuel every time. So in your first pit stop, what I would recommend doing after you get your tires, you just go by your last stint. So for instance, we're going to go up to 12 laps for our first pit stop because there's no need to fill the car all the way up. You're going to weigh yourself down if you do that. Plus you'll be wasting time in pit road just refueling the car. So I would suggest your first stint pit stop 11 to 12 laps. I'm going to do 12 laps just to play it safe, and after that we're going to be a little bit faster in the next stint because we're not starting off with full fuel. Matter of fact, we actually did lose the lead to the Lamborghini. We had ourselves quite a big lead over the rest of the field. Not going to stress it too much because we do know the Lamborghini has to eventually pit in this race. So even with us with new fresh tires versus old tires, we're going to easily gain on the Lamborghini and we'll pretty much get the lead within the next couple of corners, because with those fresh tires you can really put the car at its limits and it'll stick to the track. I mean, it has really good control, especially once you go to this next sector right here, which you'll see on my onboard camera shot. The car just felt really good, fairly dialed in these corners. I mean, you can just see this, how smooth it just transitions from left to right. No signs of it really losing the rear end at all or any boggling. Get ourselves a good run. We actually had to lift a little bit right there. Just give us a little bit of space. Short to shift to 5th. Get ourselves a lead, get ourselves cleared off from the Lamborghini, and we resumed as the race leader before we made its pit stop. So after that, we go through that whole stint. Fast forward to lap 22. It's going to be our last official pit stop, and I think overall we did pretty well managing the tires. We're going to make a move on the Genesis and get ourselves past the Genesis as we get pit road. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves our last batch of mediums, and that's going to be it for our pit stop for the whole entire race, since we did a 2-stop medium strategy. And we're going to do the same thing like in the first pit stop, except we're going to align with how many laps we got left with the timer. So we got about 16 or about less than 16 minutes left to go. Average lap around here is about 1:57, 58 if you're quick. I'm going to play it safe and do 1:59 to 2 minutes. So we're going to go for 8 full laps of fuel remaining left on the car. That way we can still make it out of pit road at a good time, and we'll have the car right where I want it to be on weight and fuel load. So after that, we're going to go ahead and fast forward to top 25. It's going to be our hot lap through this track. I really encourage you guys to watch this onboard camera shot, see what I'm doing on the track, which hopefully will help you out. And then I'll see you guys when we get to the end of the race. Alright, so we did 157.4, which I thought was a pretty smooth time overall. We're able to get ourselves just around enough fuel, which I thought we did in that last stint, and it just worked out perfectly for us. We're going to go ahead and get gold and get ourselves 30 laps, which actually is pretty good for this challenge. Got ourselves a huge lead over P2, and that's going to be it for the episode. So hopefully both these two guys help out, especially the Mercedes-Benz race at Lake Maggiore. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, why not go ahead and leave a like. If you guys like to see some more of my stuff later down the road, why not go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. And yeah, I really appreciate all you guys' support on these last couple of days. And I'm going to try to post some stuff more in the future as well. I'm not too sure what the next episode is going to be. I might do a short on it though, just to give you a heads up. But hopefully you guys enjoy the episode. If you check out the last episode, I did cover using the C4 Corvette. There it is right there. And with that all being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night, wherever it might be. And I'll see you guys later, and take care, and thanks.